you fill up my feed with a little positivity, I think that it's needed. No more arguments, alarm and beating up the wrong guy, fighting on the beaches of Bournemouth and Bondi, no thanks. All this negativity is getting us nowhere. We're tired and we're numb and we're bored and we don't care. Green, we're consumed by the shock and the graphic, emotionally crippled, almost sociopathic or something. Showing videos of babies looking here for the first time. The road fully in prison, stepping into the sunshine. The soldier coming home from war and making a dark state. A simple act of kindness in somebody because they care. Ah, yeah! Every day I hit myself taking a clickbait. I can shut my fingers off and raising the hit rate of every chance boxing in a brawler away in. The predatory stand up, getting down on his knees and praying. Bullets at the sound of the mic drops, sparks from all the anger grinds, cutting through right blocks. Servants in the force, the death in the Rhine zone. Boys in balaclavas make a mess in an iPhone store. Show me tears of joy, couples crying with laughter. Give me everybody happily ever after. I wanna see some videos of rainbows and thunder. And send me down a rabbit hole of magic and wonder. Yes, please. I want puffing the teachers and smiling policemen. A child ringing a bell at the end of the treatment. Joe, someone saying something wise or important. A man in his 70s dancing to Northern Soul. Go man, go! Fill up my feed with a little positivity, I think that it's needed. No more arguments or I'm beating up the wrong guy. Nothing out on paper reads like a song by me. If you want to go slower, shout if you need more time to yourself. Whisper I'm done when you're done and it's over. We'll move somewhere quiet, somewhere safe, somewhere else. You said we're not in Kansas anymore, are we, darling? The kids look like dolls with alien hands. They grow up so fast, so lost and so angry. I'd just like to slow things down if we can. So scream if you want to go slower. Shout if you need more time to yourself. Whisper I'm done when you're done and it's over. We'll move somewhere quiet, somewhere safe, somewhere else. And the news is fake. Women are from Mars and men are from Venus. Romance is dead and the Bible is cake. So scream if you want to go slower. Thank you. This next one is called Can You Hear Us at the Back of the Hall, which is the name of a band I made up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Khaleesi's gonna change the world with the band. Can you hear us at the back of the hall? The logo is ironically Comic Sans. People say their music sounds like the Fall, the Clash and the Jam, the Pistols and Damn, the Who and the Stones, the Kings and the Bones, but what do they know? Khaleesi's setting up on an empty stage, waiting for a public to come. Someone's telling her of a golden age, when the parents and the teachers were young. They had the Cure and the Smiths, Johnny Ross Smith, the comes in the poems, the teardrop explodes, but one doesn't know. The Clash and the Jam, the Pistols and Damn, the Who and the Stones, the Kings and Ramones, but what do they know? Khaleesi's in a coffee shop, reading the views for Can You Hear Us at the back of the hall? The 4 or 5 stars are kind of good news, but the journalists don't get it at all. The same squeeze and T-Rex and X-ray specs, the pastels and pill, bikini kill, NWA and Marvin Gaye, Sparkle Horse and the Beatles of course, the same Bowie Prince and Sleeping Pills, Hills and Machines, Paul McCartney Wing, the Sons of Pig, the Cocktail Twins, Sonic Youth, Orange Juice, the Gothic Wire, Alexis on Fire, Talking Heads, a Mercury Rain, all of noise, the late comes of the Dead Boys, Gang of Four, so many more.
Geographically, at least, this makes quite a nice link to our special guest this evening at the Maida Vale Studios. Jim Bob, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Steve. I'm good, yes.
Actually, I don't know what it was like. You've lived in South London longer than I have. When I first moved to Brixton in 1990, there was hardly anything going on. Now you can't walk past the old Woolworths or Iceland without tripping over a group, can you?
It's a little over-gentrified, isn't it? Woolworth, did you say?
You said the old Woolworths.
Oh, the old Woolworths.
Yeah, the old Woolworths.
I thought I was going to have to break some bad news to you.
How much of what you write is still rooted, though, in the landscape of where you live? Because it was quite a theme in the early days.
I don't think it is so much anymore. I mean, it's still written there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the lyrics for the songs are written. I do a lot of walking now, so I tend to write when I'm walking, and I usually walk towards Dulwich, which is a really nice place. So it hasn't affected the lyrics in that way. They're not all about lovely houses and gardens.
Because you put out the book, that really good book, Where Songs Come From, which explained the stories behind some of your songs, what inspired or prompted them. But the only problem with that is now I imagine every time, as you say, every time you go for a walk, I imagine something happens that plants the seed of a song in your head, and that can't be right.
It's a curse, the kind of thing.
Is it?
Yeah, genius is overrated.
Do you have a filter though when you see something on the news or read something in a book or a paper? Is there a switch, or is there something that says that's a song or that's not a song?
There must be, yeah. But they
they probably come from like unexpected places, or it won't be sort of obvious, if you see what I mean. It's usually when I'm watching a film or something like that, somebody will say something and it'll trigger something in my mind.
Do you find there are things though that you think, I mean, because you can't write about everything, and you don't spend every, waking hour writing songs. So there must be something that makes you think that is worth writing about. And is that because there's something within what it is that makes you feel something?
Maybe. I think if I sort of examine, which I did do for that book, if I examine my songwriting, I do really write about four things. So often I'm actually looking for a means to say that same thing over again, if you see what I mean.
What are the four things for people?
War is bad. Racism's bad.
Yeah.
Well done. Have a biscuit, which is a quote of a Chris T song. But yes, it's that sort of thing. So I do, and for example, I know I've written a lot of songs about teenage sort of gangs and stuff like that. But there's, so I'm often just looking for another way to say that same thing.
That's something which we'll come back to because it features on the new albums. But we'll talk about the two new LPs you have coming out after this first song. Do you want to play us a song and then we'll talk some more? What are you going to start with?
We're going to do a song by me, which I think you liked. Hopefully you still like it after we've played it, from Stick.
Fingers crossed. Jim Bob, live on Six Music. Jim Bob, Song by Me, one of the songs on one of the records that are coming out this Friday. Two more live tracks to come. Do you want to introduce, I mentioned obviously it's you and the band. Do you want to introduce the band? Was that a bit showbiz?
I could do that. On drums is Ben Murray from the Isle of Wight. Hello. On the bass guitar on that song, but on piano on the other two songs is Chris T from Winchester.
Oh God!
On the bass guitar proper is Lindsay Scott from Ockety Mockety, and or something like that. Anyway, on the loads of keyboards over there is John Clayton, who produced my record, my past sort of 5 or 6 records, and on the lead guitar, Jen Macro, or Jen Lamacq, as we call her.
Welcome.
My name's Jim.
welcome everybody. Tell us about Jim. Tell us about these albums. So, from what I understand, you'd written one album, and then in a moment of weakness or bravado, decided to write another one.
Yeah, I wrote the songs for Automatic, and then did some demos of them, and then went for a drink with my manager Mark, and we sort of talked about how can we sell an album in this days where you can't sell albums. And for some reason that led to me coming up with the idea of doing a second album that would be completely different. And then the next morning I realised my error and had to write another album quite quickly. I wanted to do a sort of simple punky album that we could do quite quickly.
Yeah.
With so that became Stick, so it was automatic. Although I have realised quite recently that people don't know what stick means, as in automatic and stick, because it's American for manual.
I mean, I mean, obviously, I can't even say the word stick now without thinking of the CBeebies show Hey Dougie.
Yeah, that's going to be our intro music when we play on Friday.
Definitely should be.
Stick.
Yes. Can I go back to songwriting for a second? So you've written a lot of songs. So some songs, well, actually, before I get around to general songwriting, so what was it like then, the discipline of thinking, right, I'm going to give myself a time span, I'm going to write this album really, really quickly? Do you write in a different way? I always write pretty quickly. And it tends to be when I start an album. So say if I've got one song and I think, this is going to be an album, then they come very quickly. Right, okay.
And then after I've written the last one, that's it, there's nothing. I could never. So there's never bonuses, bonus tracks or anything like that. They just don't exist. Just write an album, then stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a journalist thing, isn't it? Once you've got the first line, generally it rolls, and once you've got the point of it. But because that piece is, 400 words long, it's only 400 words long. It's not going any further. Yeah. I mean, in comparison, so the two album, I mean, Automatic, obviously, some big hooks on it and stuff. When you compare the record, I think there's something which is more melancholic about Automatic.
Yeah.
Do you think compared
definitely.
to Stick? Because there are songs like Danny from Nowhere, which is sort of is one of the songs which is sort of about one of the things you were talking about earlier on, which is just a kind of wasted youth thing. But Balloon released for half. Frank bought a drum. There's some melancholia.
Yeah. I mean, it's grim, isn't it?
It is a bit.
It's another way of looking at it.
It is a bit bleak at times, Jim.
I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I think that's probably because that's how I write songs, I suppose. Whereas Stick, I was more thinking, I'll just write about whatever I want. Just at that very, very quickly, So there's a song called I Go to the Park, which is just about me going to the park. Nothing else more to it than that. Although it does end on listing dead people and who went to the park. That's one of my favourite tracks from both albums. Is that I just think it's so poignant. When you hear it, listeners, we're at that age, Stephen, aren't we? You cannot beat a walk to a park.
Yeah, well, we were down on the Kent Riviera the other week, but if you walk down the front, same thing, just lots of benches. So the song is about the benches you walk past, which have plaques on with people's names. And
20 years ago, you would have been drinking cider on that same bench.
Yeah.
Off your face. But now it's this nice walk with some nice flowers and trees and stuff.
Also, well, here's another thing which has changed for both of us in a way. You now write about characters at different ends of the age spectrum. You mentioned writing about teenagers, but you write about teenagers and probably pensioners. I mean, as I just mentioned, you've got, Danny from Nowhere at one end and Frank at the other.
Yeah, I think I do bang on about this all the time because it's the big thing in my life, is because I'm now a grandfather. So that's bound to have an effect on the way I look at things, I think, because I'm sort of thinking about somebody else's future in the same way I used to about my daughter. So, you're maybe a sort of... So I'm thinking about me being old and my granddaughter being young. Do you know what I mean?
But something which is consistent, though, is... which I think is still true now, at whatever age they are, is you're still writing about the unseen. I think, people who are the unseen, or writing about people that no one else really writes about. Yeah. And I think that's consistent from Carter Days onward.
Yeah, I guess that's good. I mean, I don't want to, judge every band in the world, but a lot of people write about themselves, don't they? Yeah. That's kind of, so I don't really write about myself, so... Or not so obviously, anyway. So I suppose that's what it is. I write about other people because somebody has to.
And also, as much as we said, it's a bleak couple of records. It's not. It's what these albums are. There is a slight feeling of disappointment with the world, but it is pitched against just how brilliant people can be when they want to be.
Absolutely.
And we should acknowledge that.
Yeah. And yes. Everyone should buy these albums because it will make their life better. And if they don't buy them, then they're idiots.
Then their lives won't be improved. Yeah, well, so it'll be their own fault.
It will, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're still, I'd say the lyrical skills haven't failed. You're never more than a verse away or a couple of lines away from something that will make you laugh or cry.
I did an interview the other day and someone asked me about a line in one of the songs, and I thought that was one line where I questioned whether it was too much, which was, there's a line in the end of a song which is about sitting outside watching Cafe Nero burn or something like that, which is just... I don't know.
Tell us about... That's
not. I don't mean because of Cafe Nero's burning. I meant the Nero burning.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to explain that. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Just tell us about two songs very quickly. Victoria Knits the Wars. Where did that come from?
Victoria Knits the Wars. I don't know. It was partially inspired by... Because, those knitted toppers that people knit for the tops of post boxes, usually the Wombles.
Yeah.
Or snowmen or something like that.
Yeah.
I sort of thought, imagine if you knitted some of those and they were like scenes of wars and that kind of thing. So grim again. But then I since realised that people do actually do that. Well, they tend to do them for, Remembrance Day or something like that, but not the battles. And
the song, this is on Stick, I think, Art is about me. That is literally about the day I went into the National Gallery and looked at my favourite painting by Edgar Degas and started crying.
But it was sort of connected. I was going through a very tough time with my mum at the time.
Right.
So that had a lot to do with it. But now if I do go in there and look at it, I don't care about any of the other pictures in there. And it's still, I have to leave sometimes. It's kind of, but I think that's a memory, isn't it? Yeah.
We should just make one final point, which is as well as some good shouting on these records, there's also some actual singing, some very tender singing. Well done.
Yeah. I mean, surprised me as well.
Here's two more tunes from Automatic and Stick. Are you doing one from each, just for balance?
We're doing two from Automatic because we've already recorded a Stick one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a secret.
No, that's fine. Okay, two songs from one of the albums coming at the end of the week. It's over to you, Jim Bob. Thanks very much for coming in. Jim Bob.
Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely live on Six Music. Here you go.
Okay, this is called Scream If You Want to Go Slower.
That's a song that touches the nerve, although I think we've all done that. I really like it. Sounds like the Senseless Things. That's what it's kind of about, isn't it? There's it's great, but it reminds me of this.
Yes, it's about us old blokes.
Yeah.
It's always blokes.
Yeah.
Telling young bands that they sound like somebody
else. Yeah, I mean, I've done it at least 3 times in this programme already, I think. I noticed you're doing a launch gig for the album in London, I think. Is it this Friday?
On Friday we're doing Stick in Kingston, which is sold out.
Oh, okay.
Not Jamaica. And it's too far to get back for the next one. Saturday we're doing Rough Trade East, where we're doing Automatic.
Right.
There's still tickets for that.
Okay.
It's quite a bit of dismaying, but there you go.
Yeah, well, not after this, I doubt.
No.
Good luck with the albums. You don't have to wait till Friday. You can pre-order them now. I'm sure. Automatic and Stick release at the end of the week. Thanks once again, Jim.
Thank you, Steve. Just want to say thank you so much. You have been fantastic.
Oh, bless you. They're great records, these. I really recommend them. And as I say, out on Friday, the new records from Jim. That's Jim Bob in Session, and we'll be back with more after this news.